I think the importance of preserving our coast is about preserving our way of life, our quality of living, having a clean ocean that we can take our children to, that we resource our food out of. My name is Cindy Walter, and I co-own Passion Fish Restaurant.
Fred Keeley. I'm a member of the California Ocean Science Trust here in California, as well as the National Marine Sanctuary Foundation in Washington, D.C.
My name is Mark Carr. I'm a marine ecologist on the faculty here at the University of California at Santa Cruz.
The ocean provided for me my entire life. It provided a means to earn money. It provided a means for my father to sustain his family.
I spend a lot of time on the ocean, and so having it healthy means I get that much more out of it, whether it's from fishing or spending time with students, teaching classes.
Monterey Bay's fishing history is one that is cyclical as well as checkered. There was a time for thousands and thousands of years where the fishing was a very, very light touch on the Monterey Bay.
Monterey Bay has always been really fertile grounds for a lot of different fisheries. The rock cod fisheries, flatfish fisheries, sand dabs, halibut, and squid has been very important, sardines.
We now have a population of 36.5 million people in California, about 70% of whom live within a 1 hour's drive of the coast. That puts enormous pressures on the nearshore coastal fisheries.
And it wasn't until the last couple decades, say the early 80s, that I think people became really sensitive to fisheries and started passing legislation that has made fisheries in the Central Coast much healthier than they ever were in the past. California's Marine Life Protection Act was legislation that was passed in 1999, and that legislation essentially gave the state of California the guidance to create a statewide network of marine protected areas.
Now what's happening is that the marine protected areas that have come about as a result of the Marine Life Protection Act, they are scientifically based, rigorously thought through, stakeholder driven, with a very robust monitoring enterprise. And so what that means is that fishery by fishery, species by species, issue by issue, we can, in a very comprehensive way, manage the marine environment in a way that it will in fact lead to sustainability.
Those areas are protected, and so fish actually have a chance to breed and repopulate the ocean. And as those areas repopulate, the fish migrate out to find more space.
There's some early evidence that fish populations in the protected areas are in fact increasing in abundance and the size. And size is important for a couple of reasons, because the bigger those fish are, the more young that they produce. So by protecting bigger fish, you're increasing the number of young that are being generated from the protected areas and swept out to replenish populations elsewhere. And so by protecting those larger individuals, the average size of individuals in that population will increase.
About 4% of the state's coastal waters are protected by one kind or other of marine protected area. So about 96% of the state waters, which are 1,100 miles long from the Oregon border to Mexico and 3 miles out from the mean high tide line out into the ocean, 96% of that is not in the marine protected area.
I think one thing that people need to recognize about the Marine Life Protection Act is that when California enacted it and created this statewide network of protected areas, it's unprecedented globally. I mean, it actually put California as the global leader in the development, the design, the implementation of an actual network of protected areas.
I'm beginning to see fishermen bringing fish back into the restaurants, such as sand dabs. We've never seen in all the years that we've been at Passion Fish. think it's really important for people to be active in contacting public officials, senators, mayors, and making sure that they know that the health of the ocean is a really important issue.
We inherited the ocean. We inherited that from previous generations, and we're going to leave it to succeeding generations. And it is a public trust resource. It belongs to all of us, and we have an obligation and responsibility to literally leave these public trust resources better than we found them. Not the same, not just degraded a little bit, but actually, literally, factually, objectively better than we found them.